This idea that these sensations just come out of the blue. Sometimes people start to associate like with driving. I'm going to have a panic attack while I'm driving, and I'm afraid that when I have a panic attack while I'm driving or going over a bridge or whatever it might be, that they're going to lose control, and then something bad's going to happen. And so I talk a lot with people about having panic attacks, and what pairs well with talking about panic attacks is cognitive behavioral therapy, right?
They struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever role we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches.
All right, y'all, here we are, back with another episode of Midwest Anxiety Daily, y'all. You know what this show is all about. You know what it's all about. You get a behind the wheel look, what it's like to be a community-based mental health therapist. Let's go. We're out and about today. We're gonna go to some libraries. We're gonna eat some ice cream. We're gonna throw the football around. We're gonna probably spin on some merry-go-rounds today. And we're gonna teach some people some cognitive behavioral skills to push back that anxiety and that depression and that relationship trouble and that school difficult. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Y'all, did you hear the big announcement yesterday? That's right, y'all, that's right. We're signed on for another 2 years, renewed my LSCSW license that allows me to practice mental health, to do mental health. And 2 more years, y'all. We're signed on for another 2 more years. That's right, we're going to be doing that MWA thing. Here we are. Let's go. Let's change the way that we talk and do mental health, y'all. All right, y'all. Here we are. Another day. Let's get after it. We're gonna talk about something that I'm really excited about. This will show you, this is how we do mental health. You know, you might go to an office, you and your kid may go to an office and you may say, hey, Sally, or hey, Johnny, just needs help. Randy, Sally, Johnny just needs help being able to feel more comfortable talking with boys and girls. And, I could be in the office and say, hey, Sally, hey, Johnny, just go up to someone and say, hey, my name's Sally, my name's Johnny, what's your name? Or, hey, you want to play freeze tag? Or, hey, you want to play Foursquare? But no, that's not the MWA way. That's not the NWA thing. Let's go out. I'm excited, y'all, because I've been able to go out on some playgrounds. In the last several days, it's been nice outside. I've been able to go and I've been able to put into practice the things that I've been teaching kids, all right? The things that I've been teaching kids about being more comfortable socially. We've gone out on some playgrounds and we've played freeze tag, we've played Foursquare, we've kicked a soccer ball around, okay? We've done all those fun things. But we've also practiced being able to assert themselves in social situations and to feel more comfortable being able to participate in social activities. Y'all, I love it. I would say for the younger kids, we're saying, elementary age, one of the best things you can do for your child is, if your child struggles socially, is just to get them out to playgrounds this spring and the summer. Get them out to playgrounds and just let them free play. Let them free play and encourage them to talk at least to one new person on the playground, to say, hey, you want to play freeze tag? To ask them what their name is, to have them engage with one child, at least one child during that playtime. All right, y'all, we interrupt this vlog for a special announcement. Y'all, this vlog is not sponsored by, it's not sponsored by Albanese gummy worms. You know, Albanese, if you want to sponsor this vlog, go ahead, hit me up in the DMs, Albanese. Not sponsored, but Albanese, if you want to, get in early, Albanese. Or you get in early. Think about it, if you got in early at like Amazon, Tesla, Uber. I mean, think about if you were the first sponsor of one of those big companies. That might be what it's like to be a sponsor of Midwest Anxiety someday. We're going up like the rocket ship. But what I wanted to say is, I think I'm liking these more and more all the time. I'm a big candy fan. I love candy. Get it? Randy and candy. Okay, that naturally rhymes. And it also naturally goes together. Anyway, I like my gummy worms. I like my gummy bears. I like my gummy fish. Haribo. Those gummy worms, gummy bears are pretty good. Guys, something's just special about these. The taste, they're just like, just melt in your mouth. If you haven't tried them, go ahead and get out there and try them. The flavor, can you just taste and smell the flavor coming out of them? Oh my goodness. All right, y'all, I gotta get in and see a client. Hope you guys are having a good day. Okay, it's time for what's been coming up in client sessions. Let's talk about kids and parents, and kids misbehaving, them melting down, maybe not doing what mom and dad is saying, mom and dad's yelling. How do we just change all this? How do we change all this where there's just not this big tornado, this big fight happening all the time at home? Okay, so we do, all the families that I meet with, I help them with a behavioral modification plan, the X and O's of just, being able to reward positive behavior and consequence negative behavior, and just how you do that. So I talk with all families about that, but I'm going to tell you what the theme, so what the challenge is with parents and kids when it comes to, when kids are misbehaving, how do parents deal with that? Is that there's this idea, there's this conflict that happens between the child. It's the child's will, okay, whatever it is the child is wanting or doing, it's the child's will versus the parent's emotional control. All right, I always tell I always tell parents that they're going to remember this. It's going to like haunt them in their sleep. It's, how's their child's will? How strong is their child's will? Or how strong is the parent's emotional control? How the parents are being able to control their emotions, their own emotions, as their child is asserting his or her will. Okay, whoever's better at that, if the child's will is better or stronger than the parent's emotional control, then the child is going to win out. If the parent's emotional control, if they can handle, if they can work through whatever it is personally, not trying to control the child to make the child behave, but if the parent can stay emotionally neutral during those times that the kids are having the fits, then the parents are going to win. Okay, so it's the child's will versus the parent's emotional control, and who's going to be better at that? Who's going to win? Who's going to be better at that? So my goal is, when I'm working with families, my intent is to help the child be able to be more in emotionally control. Be in more emotionally control of the thoughts and the feelings and behaviors. And the same thing with the parents. How can I get the parents to be more emotionally controlled? Because we have two sets of people. We have the kids and we have the parents that are out of control, just spinning up like a Tasmanian devil. So what is it? Is it the parents' emotional control, or is it the child's will? Which one's gonna win out? Y'all focus on that. Think about that. Parents, when your kids are out of control, don't yell. Don't get out of control. Model for your kids, like, hey, I'm going to be this way, and this is how I would like you to be. Parents, if you can stay emotionally neutral and calm, okay, well, that's going to shine a light on your child. If you're just sitting back and you're just chilling and your kids are like, ah, ah, if your kid's like, ah, well, that spotlight now is going to be on your child. That spotlight is going to be on your child, and you're not going to be the one necessarily that your kid's talking about, yelling at me or telling me mean things or all that. That it's just going to be on the child. All right, it's the child's will versus the parents' emotional control. Who's going to win? Who's going to be better? All right.
Freak you, I know, but baby, all I think about is you and me up in a tree, yeah. You whisper something in my ear.
Panic attacks, y'all. Panic attacks. I talk a lot about this topic with clients. A lot of people are afraid of losing control, either fainting or passing out or just being overcome by physical sensations, by panic, by anxiety. This idea that these sensations just come out of the blue. Sometimes people start to associate like with driving. I'm going to have a panic attack while I'm driving, and I'm afraid that when I have a panic attack while I'm driving or going over a bridge or whatever it might be, that they're going to lose control, and then something bad's going to happen. And so I talk a lot with people about having panic attacks and what pairs well with talking about panic attacks is cognitive behavioral therapy, right? Cognitive behavioral therapy, the idea that our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors are all connected together. So this idea with panic is that someone starts having a physical sensation. Let's say their heart starts racing. And when my heart starts racing, then I have a thought. Oh my gosh, my heart's starting to race. Oh my gosh, my heart's starting to race. I hope I don't start losing control. I hope I don't have a panic attack. And because then someone's mind then starts thinking that, then it becomes psychosomatic, where my heart is racing, I start thinking it. Okay, now I've got to get out of this situation. But what if I can't get out of this situation? I'm driving and there's not an exit. Oh my gosh, like now it's building. This anxiety's building, this fear is building, both in my body and my brain. Oh my gosh, oh no, I'm going to be overcome. I'm going to be overcome with anxiety and this fear, and it's not going to stop. And I'm going to pass out. I'm going to lose control of myself because of this overall anxiety, right? So I talk a lot with people about this idea, this psychosomatic, the brain and the body being connected together. And what we have to do, y'all, is we have to start working on their thoughts. We have to start working on the thoughts and to say, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to have a panic attack, but when I have a panic attack, I'll be able to handle it. Okay? I'll be able to handle those sensations. I'll be able to handle the sensations. And what we do is we start to change the thinking around the physical sensations, where the physical sensations are not as bad. I'm not afraid of those physical sensations. I'm not afraid of the sweating. Come on, bring the sweat on. Come on, heart race. Okay, come on. I've even talked to people like, come on, if I'm gonna anxiety, if you're gonna make me pass out, let's go. Let's have a passing out party, y'all. Let's have a passing out party. This is not the typical thinking of someone that struggles with panic. Someone that struggles with panic tries to avoid all situations or all possibilities that they could have those anxious feelings, that could have that anxiety. But here's the idea, is once we start to change our thinking, and once we start to change our thinking around this, then those feelings kind of lose their edge. They kind of lose their ability to impact us, because we're like, you know what? I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. When it happens, it happens. Let's go. Let's do this. And so when it doesn't have the same impact, those feelings then just they don't control us as much. They're probably still there, but it's like, oh well, I guess I'm just gonna have a panic attack. I'm gonna get really anxious, and I'll just have to deal with it. And so when we start wrapping our mind around it, when we start changing our thoughts around it, then our feelings adjust to it. So we can change our thoughts around it. Sometimes with anxiety, with panic attacks, what we'll do is, under these controlled scenarios, I will help induce physical symptoms. So we might twirl around, or we might breathe through a straw, or we might run in place. Okay, we're inducing these physical symptoms, and the reason why I want to do that with people is because I want them to not only feel the anxiety, but then when they feel it and they experience it, I want them to have different thoughts around it. Okay, so the thought is, that, whoa, I'm not avoiding the anxiety. I'm not avoiding the anxiety. I'm actually going into the anxiety. I'm going into the anxiety, and because I'm going into the anxiety, I know I can handle it. I can handle it. I want to feel that way. I want to feel anxious, because I want to be able to change my relationship with the anxiety. I want to change my relationship with the panic. All right, y'all? I want to change my relationship with the panic and the anxiety. I'm not afraid of it. I can handle it. Bring it on. Let's go. All right, y'all? Love to hear your thoughts and comments. Any of you that are afraid of anxiety, or you struggle with panic attacks, let me know how you might overcome it. All right? All right. See ya.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup.
That's all, folks. That's all, folks. Nope.